I want you to imagine two sets of books. Imagine that we go into a library, a big library with lots of books, thousands, maybe even millions of books. And we could divide these books up into two piles in lots of different ways. We could say this pile is books written by men and this pile is books written by women. We could say this pile is books written before 1900 and this is post-1900. We could say fiction, nonfiction. There would be lots of different ways that we could divide books up into one of two categories, this or this. So imagine with me that we're going to divide these books up into one of two categories, but the two categories are, number one, books that do not claim to be from God. And the other category, books that do claim to be from God. And so we're going through the library. Again, this is a large library, and we're making the two piles. Well, this pile here, books that do not claim to be from God or revealed by God, this pile is getting larger and larger and larger. This is a huge pile of books containing nearly every book in the library. Well, over here, the pile of books that do claim to be from God, that make that claim, has very few books in it, perhaps as few as 2 or 3. One of the books that would be in that pile, though, would be this book, the Bible. Now, strangely, even though this looks like a single book, in fact it is not. It's 66 books contained between these two covers in two testaments, sometimes referred to as the Old and New Testament. Now that raises a question. How would we know if that claim, the claim to be from God, is a true claim? Now think about this for just a moment. Ordinary claims require only ordinary evidence, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And I think you would agree with me, the claim to be from God, if this book is what it claims to be, from God, that's an extraordinary claim. Well, what then is the extraordinary evidence that would support this claim of Scripture? Now, there are many that we could talk about, but let me just give you one to ponder. Jesus was speaking to his disciples, and he said in John chapter 14, verse 29, "And now I have told you before it comes to pass, that when it is come to pass, you might believe." What Jesus says here is so logical. I'm going to tell you in advance what's going to take place, and when what I say happens just as I say it will, then you can have confidence in me and the other things that I say. In essence, what Jesus is saying is, I'll tell you the future. In Bible language, Bible speak, this is what's called prophecy. Prophecy is a foretelling of future events. And here's an amazing thing. This book is full of prophecies, foretellings of future events. Now think about that for just a moment. If this book is what it claims to be, from God, then we would expect some kind of supernatural, amazing, even miraculous evidence. Remember, ordinary claims, ordinary evidence. But extraordinary claims, extraordinary evidence. And the Bible is filled with extraordinary prophetic evidence that it is what it claims to be. And so I would invite you to check this book out and see, yeah, there's this big pile, but see if it's not the case that this book here, the Bible, in this much smaller pile, isn't exactly what it claims to be. The prophetic evidence, I think you will find, as I have, very, very persuasive.